Hello, Stop Motion Magazine podcast listeners. This is episode 2, and in this episode, we have the wonderful, awesome, amazing, talented, brilliant comic book fanatic Chris Calvi, also known to his friends as Calvi, and he's a great guy. Interview speaks for itself. He has a long history in the industry and is an animator. And a lot of people respect and love this guy, and it's obvious why. So give a listen and sit back and, enjoy yourself. So here we go. This is Stop Motion Magazine's podcast, and we're at Bix Picks, and we're going to be rocking some hanging out with Chris Calvi.
Hello.
Would you prefer to be called Christopher?
No, only my mother calls me Christopher when she's mad at me.
Oh, well, we're not mad at you. Okay. So anyway, it's a Friday night, and of course, weeklies have just happened, and we have a couple of brouhahas inside our bellies. Take my headphones off real quick. So, Calvi.
Yes, sir.
How are you?
I'm great. I'm great. I'm working on an awesome show.
Can't say too much about the show.
No, I'm not going to say anything about the show.
Okay, cool.
That it's awesome.
It is awesome.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes, and we're working together again, and
Exactly.
that's always good and fun.
I think I first met you on Robot Chicken Season 4.
Yes, I believe so.
That's the first time I ever met you. And then I walked by, and your lady Sarah, she goes, "That's my man." And I went, "Oh, okay, that's her man." I didn't talk to you. I think I talked to you once the whole season of Season 4. And it wasn't until I remember the beginning of Titan Maximum. Maybe I started saying hi to you and stuff. Yeah.
Titan.
Yeah.
That was a fun show.
So, what was your first gig? Where did you start out at?
I started out, and I'm going to date myself, I started at this small studio called Olive Jar Studios.
Oh, I know that one.
In
Yeah.
Brookline
Yeah.
Village, Massachusetts, in the early to mid-'80s. And I believe my first gig was a Little House in the Prairie bumper
What?
for local channels.
Okay.
So, just advertising
Sure.
for Little House in the Prairie. And it was all replacement clay animation.
This is in the 90s?
80s,
What?
mid-'80s.
No way.
Yeah.
Oh, hey, that's my wife.
Taught by Bill Jarko, who was one of the owners of Olive Jar Animation.
Oh, cool.
He was the jar.
Cool. Yeah. What brought you out to LA?
I was up in, I went Boston, San Francisco, Portland, Connecticut, here.
All animation? All animation.
All stop motion.
Wow.
Animation.
Yeah.
Moral Oral brought me here.
Okay.
I was in Connecticut working on Fisher Price Little People, and that fell through. And I was out here working on Disaster, the movie.
Oh, yeah.
Came out for a month to just kind of help them finish that up, and
That's
Roy T. Wood, yeah.
Yeah.
And they had just finished the first season of Robot Chicken, so I crashed the wrap party and started meeting and greeting and everything, and they called me out for Moral Oral, and then I was at Shadow still at Shadow on and off, but I've been there for like 8 years.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow. So you're stuck out here.
Yeah.
This place
just bought a house.
This place gobbles you up.
It does.
You come out here, you're stuck.
It seems like the right place for animation. I mean, they make films here, I hear.
It's a little strange though, because you go anywhere else, and I mean, there's other animation, stop motion going on everywhere else, and hand drawn or whatever. But LA seems to be like the center for a lot of that stuff.
Yeah, at the moment, I moved from Boston to San Francisco in the early 90s, and that was the hub for stop mo.
Sure.
Nightmare had just ended.
Sure.
I was working on a show called Bump in the Night for ABC Saturday morning. And then James and the Giant Peach was there.
Did you work on James?
No, I came so close to working on it, but the money guy was just like, no
more people.
No. Paul Berry, the animation director, was like, come on. We need you. We want you. And I'm like, yeah, talk to the money guy.
Yeah.
So it didn't happen, but
Wow.
hung out there a lot.
Cool.
Went over there for weeklies.
That's cool.
All the time, yeah.
Right
But
on.
yeah, I just, we like to call ourselves migrant film workers because we just go wherever the
You're
work's
nomadic.
at. Yes.
Yes,
I
exactly.
was in Portland, Oregon for 8 years.
For 8 years?
Yeah.
Wow. But you got to put roots down, though. You have to put roots down somewhere.
Somewhere.
You got to say, I own a house here, and I work here.
I did that in Portland. I had a house in Portland. I had to get rid of that.
You have to get rid of it, of course, at some point. Yeah.
But just bought one here, so I'm not going anywhere anytime soon.
That's awesome, though.
Yeah.
Well, LA is one of those places where I hate to use the reference, but I was always told it's where the trash meets the sea.
I've not heard that.
I used to hang out with a lot of homeless people in Venice Beach, so that's one of their funniest things that they would say to me. This is back when I worked. My first discovery here. I was a musician, and then I had a career. I shouldn't even call it a career. I had development deals and record deals with major labels, and then when I hit 20. Everybody just scattered. They went, "Oh, you're too old for record deals anymore." And they just boom, just disappeared. And so a good friend of mine said, "Hey, come on out and work for me." So I worked with him, and I was 2 blocks from the beach.
Nice.
So I would go to the beach every day. Yeah. So for 4 years, I got to do an apprenticeship and got to the beach.
That's nice.
Yeah. But the problem is, it is where the trash meets the sea because the outlet just goes right for there. All of LA City just into the ocean.
Yeah, I've been by that part of the beach. It's not very
don't go surfing. Don't go surfing there.
Don't go swimming. Don't do it.
So what's your take on LA?
I thought I would never work here or live here, and I actually lived in Hollywood for a couple of years, and that kind of blew
brutal.
my mind. It blew my mind.
Yeah.
But it was awesome because I was working at Shadow Animation, and I lived 2 blocks away, so I just walked. Which is unheard of in LA, at a car gathering dust, and I walked everywhere. But I was in the hub. I mean, I could go to the Egyptian, I could go to all these movie places and walk to work and bars and everything. So it was great. But now that I'm settling down,
Are you really?
I'm settling down. Getting married in November.
So cool.
Bought a house.
Congratulations.
In the suburbs.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
We love you, Sarah.
Yes, we do.
Yeah.
This is my philosophy in life. No matter where I have work and friends, I don't care where I'm at. I could be, God forbid, Utah, but if I had work and friends there,
Utah's gorgeous, though.
it is.
You can't really drink there, but
That's the problem.
you can start brewing your own beer, though.
Animation it forces you to drink.
It does. The stress.
It's you're so focused for so long during the day that you need that release.
Please tell my wife this. Because I sit and I complain, and she goes, "Nope, sorry."
No, I don't get it.
Yeah.
Glug glug.
Yeah. So.
She'll get it.
She'll get it someday.
Yes. Yeah.
What do you feel is your crowning achievement so far? What do you feel that you've peaked in any area? And I'm not just talking about job wise. I'm talking about like animation wise. Like, what do you think you've mastered? If you've mastered anything, I know it's a learning experience every single day.
Yeah.
And is there anything that you've I know how to put a pin in a puppet or something? You know what I mean?
Well, it's funny. It's like I've been doing this almost 30 years now. And it is still a learning experience every day. Speed. I've got speed down, especially on a TV production where we have a quota that we have to reach every day. And, every day, I could have like 5 to 10 puppets and I'm not going to reach quota no matter how much you.
Yeah.
But consistently, I think I reach quota, and that's a good thing. And producers love that, and directors love that. I would say in the last 5 to 6 years, I've mastered walks. Those are hard.
Those are very hard.
Those are hard.
Yeah, upstairs, downstairs,
Downstairs,
across the
walking
board.
forward, walking towards cameras,
Walking
always
towards cameras
hard.
hard,
I had my best friend, I'm going to name drop, Brad Schiff.
There you go. Nice guy.
Nice guy, animation director up at Leica. We were, using... It was pre-grabbers, so we were using proprietary software up at Will Vinton Studios.
Sure. Was it that tape-based one?
No, thank God.
Okay.
No, it was still computer-based,
Okay.
but he's of the new generation of grabbers, and I'm of surface gauges.
Sure.
So he had a trick that if your character could look like spot on, but if you look at the shadow on the ground and it's shifting all over the place,
Yeah.
then your puppet's not doing the right thing. So by using the shadow on the ground, and if it's moving the same way the puppet's moving, that's a great gauge without having to use a surface gauge.
I've been doing it wrong the whole time. I want the shadow to look crazy.
Yeah. Just and I've been using that for since he taught me that one.
That's
I'm just
pretty
like
smart.
that. Especially if you're walking towards camera.
Oh yeah.
Which is always the hardest one to gauge.
I sometimes end up getting that whole funky walk thing where the leg is sticking out. The foot and the leg are sticking out to the side, and you're going. It looks right in camera, but physically, when you look at the puppet, it's wrong. That's so wrong.
Yeah.
Yeah,
you look at it and it's like at a 45-degree angle, and you're like, but it looks good on camera.
Yeah,
so
exactly.
That's all that counts.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Well, it makes sense. When you're doing shadows, because I have to rebuild shadows a lot of times. A rig will sit in a shadow, and you go, okay, the animator had to put the rig in the shadow, and you complain. Why? And you know why. I mean, if you're an animator, you know why. You have no choice.
Yeah.
So you remove the rig, physically you remove the rig, you cut it out, and then you have to build a whole shadow. And really all it is you're taking the puppet, you're cutting them completely out. So it's a 100% copy of the puppet. You change them to complete black. Flop them on their sides. And it's a mirror image
I
of
wondered
that.
how you guys
and you
did
can
that.
skew it, and then you can add a blur, or you can feather the edge, and it changes. And so that's how you fix those problems with the...
I've learned something new this evening.
yeah,
That's
there you go.
nice.
It's fun. It's a fun thing. After a while, you go, oh, yeah. It's not fun when you have a deadline. You go,
No.
oh, you're giving me a day to do this. I can do it in 8 hours. I have 6 hours? Okay, I'll try.
Well, I try to always think of you guys upstairs when
No worries.
Being an old school guy, it's just
Ray
like,
Harryhausen didn't have any rigs in his shots.
That's not true.
I know.
I actually, I was telling somebody this today. I went with a buddy of mine. They were showing Golden Voyage of Sinbad when I was living up in Portland. Haven't seen that in the theater since I was a kid. Horrible copy. But we went anyway. And literally, there was a scene when the dragon's coming out of the cave. For one frame, there was a surface gauge.
Oh, that's awesome, though.
And we both looked at each other. We're like, did you see that? We're like, what the?
Only animators.
Yeah, I know. It's amazing. It's like even the master.
Well, when I met Joe Clokey and Art Clokey, before Art passed away and everything, but when I
worked with Art.
You worked with Art?
Yeah.
Were you on Gumby?
No, I don't know if you remember when Frosted Cheerios first came out. They were doing they were having throwbacks, and there was a Gumby and Pokey version, and I animated that.
Oh, cool.
And we literally animated it in his garage. Art's wife was the art director. He was doing the cinematography, and I was animating.
That's cool.
And it was so great. At that point, I was the last of the Gumby animators. Of course, it's been, more people that have
Snowboard
picked
Christmas
up
with Davy and Goliath.
Yeah, well, that was Reckless, right?
Yeah.
Reckless
Is it
Abandoned?
Reckless? No, that was
that was in Los Oso. Yeah,
that was Los Oso. That was
Yep.
the Valley of the Bears or whatever that place is called. So with since Art passed away, and I was hanging out with Joe, and Joe was, hey, check this out, and he's remastering the old Gumby stuff. I don't know if I should be saying this, but anyway, he was remastering this stuff.
Nice.
And I go, oh, are you gonna take any of the rigs out? And he goes, no, those have to stay in.
Nice.
And I was like, you're 100% correct. Yes, they have to stay in. And what's funny is, we're now removing rigs every single day. And the flicker and all this other stuff. In those days, they didn't have it. Yeah. And it's weird to say this, but Gumby actually looks like a YouTube video that somebody just kind of throws up and says, hey, here's a video.
Check out my stuff.
Check out my stuff.
Yeah.
And it's not to say that it's bad. It's actually to say there's really good animation out there.
Yeah.
And some people don't have all the tools to remove all that stuff. But they cared about it, but they knew that they couldn't get away with certain things.
Yeah.
And they also were like, you know what? There's a hand in this shot. Just leave it. Just keep going.
Yeah. Yeah.
And that's the beauty. And that's like finding a fossil in a bank, a river bank or something.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh, I found a fossil. What is that? Oh, that's good.
I love that stuff. I love where the technology's gone. It's like everybody can try animation and filmmaking and music and so much. I mean, there's a lot of junk out there too, but there's a lot of gems.
I like the junk sometimes.
I do too.
No
I like a good fart joke.
A good fart joke. I do poop jokes all the time.
Nice.
Hey, you should sit in my room for a while. That's all I talk about is poop. So, no, that's not a good thing.
Put that off for some other time. I'm sure that room.
The podcast has derailed.
That would be me. It always comes down to farts.
It's the robot chicken thing.
It is.
When you work long enough on that production,
it rubs off.
It does rub off, and then your jokes end up being really grotesque and weird.
It's true. Dick and fart jokes. Yeah. That's why it's a dream to be here.
It is a dream to be here. And if anybody's coming in late, which they're probably not, they're listening at the beginning. But so we're at Big Spick Studios, and Calvi and I are working on a production right now. It's top secret production, which you'll find out probably after this podcast. And one of the big things is, let me ask you this.
Yes.
Bump in the Night.
Yes.
That's a sick production. It doesn't get the recognition it really should.
It was the biggest production that I had first started on. I was at Olive Jar for about 8 years, and we did a lot of TV bumpers. And when that studio opened, there were these channels. These kids today probably don't know about them, but these channels called MTV and Nickelodeon and Nick Jr. had just started.
Right.
So all these bumpers, we were creating all these bumpers. I mean, it was a perfect storm. The studio just opened. These cable channels had just started. So that was great. So there was just small jobs here and there. Nothing too big there. And then I moved to San Francisco to work on Bump in the Night. And this is pretty much the crew that had worked on Nightmare Before Christmas. That had ended, and this was the next big project. So to say I was in over my head, I was in over my head.
Yeah.
Totally fibbed my way in. Sorry, anybody who's hearing this, but yeah, totally. Oh yeah, I can do that. Sure, no problem. Yeah. I had the tools, but it was crazy. The stages it was twice the size of here.
Which we're in a big facility.
Yeah, and we're in a huge facility here. And it was awesome. Wow. It was just great. We had ball and socket puppets. Beautiful one-to-one scale puppet
Were they
sets.
silicone? Or were
they were foam. They were all foam.
Okay, because they look like clay.
Yeah.
And that's one of the things that whenever I watch that episode, I mean, I watched the ripped copy of a DV version, which is like 720 by 480.
Well, Rhino finally put them out.
I know. So I actually have the pre-rip before they got released, and I have yet to go get. I need to go buy a copy. But they look like clay. I mean, the animation is amazing.
Well, the first.
Bumpy.
Mr. Bumpy.
Master Bumpy.
Squishy, for the first 6 or 8 episodes, he was clay.
Oh, that's scary.
Because, yes, thank God I came in after those episodes. He was a solid block of clay.
Yeah.
But we had a lot of second-generation Gumby animators animating that stuff, and, of course, they knocked it out of the park.
Yeah.
But as the production went on, the foam one came out, and towards the end we had, did we have silicone? I think we had Molly, who was the
girl
the patchwork
doll. Patchwork
doll. We actually,
like a Raggedy Annie.
Yeah. She had like some foam parts, and we actually did some hard parts for her when she looked like a more of a Barbie-esque, and then Destructo and
Destructo was awesome. The set was amazing.
Yeah,
I mean, you're in a children's bedroom, and it's a 1-to-1 scale.
Yeah, it was 1-to-1 scale.
That is brilliant.
Yeah, when the boys' room wasn't shooting, I would nap on that bed.
Oh my god!
At lunchtime.
That's awesome.
Again, anybody who's hearing this, I'm sorry. But yeah, it was amazing. It was all 1-to-1 scale. Like the comic books in the kids' room.
Right.
I'm like, I don't have this one.
Just put it in your backpack and go home.
Yeah, exactly. I'm like, this is amazing. Yeah, it was so much fun. That was a dream job. I got to work with some of the top stop motion animators in the world.
Yeah.
And like I said, San Francisco was the hub at the time.
Sure.
And I just the friendships that I made there are long lasting. Right. I love all those people. Right. They're great.
Well, what's funny is now there's multiple hubs.
I know.
There's not just one hub now.
Yeah.
And so you got Los Angeles, and you got San Francisco's kind of dead right
now.
At the moment, it'll rebirth. Yeah. But then you have Portland.
Yeah.
And then Bristol.
Yeah.
I don't know if anything's going on in Vancouver, but I know there's lots of people teaching. I'm sure there's lessons and stuff going on.
I had worked at Bo's studio a couple years ago on MTV's Monster Island.
Oh, so good. Yeah. That was good.
Oh, my goodness. I think that was their first feature film. That was lots of fun, just going up there and working in Vancouver, which is such a beautiful country.
Oh, yeah.
If I was ready to move up there once Bush Jr. got reelected, I was like,
you were done.
I'm like, I'm out, peace.
Yeah.
Production fell through, rats.
But politics. It's all downhill when we go to politics.
Exactly. So we'll not talk about politics.
We won't talk. There's three things, right? It's politics, religion, and sex.
Exactly.
Yeah. Or sports. I'm sorry.
Sports.
Politics. You can talk about sex all you want, but politics, religion, and sports. Yeah. Yes. The three things. So when you're in the studio, and usually
don't bring any of those things up.
Don't bring any of those things up.
Especially sex, because you'll get.
Well, then there's four things.
Yeah,
HR. Well, if you're in a group of guys, it's okay. Or if it's girls with a group of girls, it's okay.
That's true.
Yeah. Let's not get ourselves in trouble here.
No, that's true.
Okay. This is a funny thing.
Okay.
Because out of everybody I've ever known to work at studios, there's only maybe 3 people that I can think of that are comic book fanatics. It's you, my friend Tom, and my friend Paul, which all 3 of you are in the same studio right now. And Calvi's wearing what's the shirt you're wearing? You're wearing Green Lantern. Green Lantern.
Yes.
Of course. So, what would be your ideal ultimate stop motion comic book menagerie? What would you want to do?
Here's the thing: when I was a kid, I would lay in bed and, in my head, come up with stop motion scenes for the X-Men.
Oh yeah.
Because of that time.
Which X-Men though?
This would be
70s, 60s.
This would be 74.
Okay.
So the new X-Men had just started.
Right. Exactly.
But I'm a classic X-Men. I grew up with the classic X-Men.
So are we talking Wolverine?
Nightcrawler, Storm, Sunfire, Cyclops, Colossus, and
Xavier
and Warpath, John Proudstar.
Oh, yeah. And they're all fighting Magneto, of course.
They're
always fighting Magneto. Yeah.
But it was like those really difficult characters. It's like, how would you do those? And it's like Colossus, I always thought, is just like Talos, or just like just a big stop mo guy, and even Nightcrawler, just like getting them on all fours.
When I was a teenager, I looked like Nightcrawler. If I pulled my ears back and I painted my face blue, I would have been Nightcrawler.
Nice.
That's my character.
Nice.
Yeah. Now I'm more of like a Homer Simpson, but it's okay.
very, very thin Homer Simpson.
So you would want to animate the X-Men, which is a huge thing.
Yeah. It was like pre-CG, so it was like any of those extremely difficult.
Totally, they would have been.
Yeah, the Beast. I'm a huge pre-Harry. I don't like the blue Harry.
Did you animate any action figures for like the DC special or for any of the stuff in Robot Chicken?
Well, here's the thing.
Because you should have.
I know it seemed like a dream job, and I missed
obvious.
out on both of those specials.
Well, it's the producer's fault for not recognizing your ambition and your passion.
But I was working, so I can't fault that. I did get to, while I was on Robot Chicken, I got to animate the all-new X-Men fighting a Sentinel.
Okay.
That was a dream job shot right there. I got to do Hal Jordan Green Lantern. A couple of scenes of that.
Nice.
Yeah. So I've Superman and his Fortress of Solitude. So I've had my fair share of all sorts of comic book stuff on Robot Chicken, just none of the specials, unfortunately.
So do you have any of your own private stuff that you want to make sometime?
No.
Not necessarily comic book related, but your own individual like films or something that you want to make?
Well, here's the thing is I work so hard on other people's projects that it's literally the last thing I want to do when I go home.
Exactly.
What I do for relaxation is the exact opposite. I'll build a model kit. I love building models.
Sure.
That's, along with stop motion, I also do fabrication and puppet making and all that other stuff. So if I'm not doing any of that stuff, I'll do the exact opposite.
Which actually honestly go hand in hand.
Yeah, they do.
Not necessarily opposite, but they go hand in hand. Because if you're building, you're going to animate, and you're going to animate, you're going to build.
All my skills are so in the stop motion world. Or special effects or any of that stuff.
Yeah.
So, and I like sculpting and I like painting and... I
want a painting. Where's my painting?
It's been a while.
Nice.
We've just moved to this new house. We've got a beautiful studio space that we're setting up. So really excited to just start getting to work.
Nice. You got to make your own gallery in your house.
Exactly.
I started doing that. I have huge canvases that are just waiting. And I have one that I did the cat, which is Mousse's cat, Mousse Brooker's cat, that he gave me. It was one of the kittens that I got, and it's me holding her up, and it's just so cute.
Oh, that's adorable.
But it's this huge, 4-foot tall painting of the cat.
Nice. Well, we need to do Trish.
Are we going to do a gallery show?
I did the first gallery show.
Because I've done gallery shows for animation. So if this is going to be a big Pix or a stop motion.
We should do that here.
Totally.
Trish started it over at Shadow, and I did one for the first show.
Yeah, well, now it's over at Stupid Buddy Studios.
Yeah,
so, that over there.
But,
so let's talk about studios. And nothing negative. Nothing negative.
Oh, of course not.
Let's not talk ill or bad about the places.
No.
We love you guys.
Yes.
But... what's it like not having a steady gig, bouncing from studio to studio and
state to state, country to country?
What's it like that?
It's not stable. But here's the thing: if I wanted a job where I could have 2 cars, a mansion. You'd
be Kanye West.
Yeah. A wife and 2.5 kids and a mistress on the side. No, I'm kidding. I would do something else, but I do what I do because I love doing it.
Right. You're an artist.
Sure.
No, because you would be a stop motion artist.
Yeah. It's definitely not a way to get rich. I'm rich in so many other ways.
Yeah. You're definitely rich in personality.
That sounds like a slam.
No, it's not. It's a compliment.
Don't worry. I mean, I'm rich in friends, and I've met my future wife in this business. I met my ex-wife in this business. You meet a lot of great people, and they're lasting friendships.
Sure. I could tell you're one of the most loved individuals in the industry.
Oh wow!
People only give you praises. So, and it's maybe I'm flattering you too much here, but
maybe.
When you work in an industry that's very close knit, there's so many people that Phil, who's from Ardaman, he just did like whatever.
Yeah.
I just met that guy, but he knows everybody that I know.
Yep. Yeah. Exactly.
You know what I mean? And he's been in the industry forever. And so you get this thing where Misha, we both know Misha for years. There's people that we consider friends.
Yeah.
And they're also our coworkers.
Yeah.
Where I've worked in other industries where you have coworkers, they're not necessarily your friends.
Yeah, you go home 9 to 5. You go home.
You don't tell them your personal life.
Yeah.
Of course, you don't do that at work. But
exactly.
After hours, and you had a couple beers. Hey, man, let me just tell you. You know what I mean?
My kids are driving me crazy.
Oh man, I got some gray hairs here. Yeah.
No, I mean, definitely the people that you meet in this industry and the lasting friendships are amazing. I've known Misha almost 20 years.
Wow. You guys worked together on Bump of the Night.
Bump of the Night, that's where we met.
That's crazy. Yeah.
And
how was it working with Ken Pontac?
I love that crazy bald-headed mother.
Effer. There you go. That's legal and safe to say.
Yes. No, him, Dave Lyman, the both creators of Bump in the Night, they're fucking awesome. They're great people. They make me laugh. Pontac just makes me laugh.
No, that's all he does.
Yeah.
Everybody's going, who's Ken Pontac? Look him up.
Look him up.
Facebook
IMDb,
him. And
Facebook.
you will understand. And he's going to kill me for saying that.
We started this tradition on Gary and Mike, this TV series we did for... Sure.
Was that over at Kyoto's?
No, we did that up at Vinton's.
Okay.
Yeah. That was a fun show.
It's hard to find.
Yeah. Nobody's put that out on DVD. I'm happy they put out the PJs.
You can download it as a torrent. PJs. See, that was my first stop motion job.
Wow.
Yeah. Well, go finish your story.
Oh,
okay.
I don't
have to go.
So we started this tradition on Gary and Mike, Men and Beef. Men and Beef. And we had some ladies that would come. But Men and Beef. I know it sounds dirty, but it's all about beef eating and manly bonding, which also sounds wrong too. But
that's totally wrong. Don't worry.
But it was a tradition that started like the first meeting of the creators of the show, which was a Fax Bar and Adam Smalls.
Okay.
If I remember correctly.
You would know better than I would, so.
I'm digging into my damaged brain for that.
Let the computer process.
Yes, and it started going out to Ringside, which was this amazing steak restaurant in Portland, Oregon. And we started there, and then we just started doing it at everybody's house because it was cheaper that way.
Yeah.
But so much fun, and that production was just great. It's just
cool.
I can't talk about just how much fun and the types of fun that we had. Yeah. But it was just...
You might have broke a couple laws.
Oh, several. Several. Constantly, every week. But it was just a great crew on that one, and it was such a tight budget, and we just made that show work, and it looked good, and it was funny, and I just wish somebody would put it out on DVD for
Gary and Mike, right?
Gary and Mike.
Please put Gary and Mike out.
Yes.
Everybody hears this. Put it out.
Put it out. I know Comedy Central picked it up when it was canceled and was showing it, but that would be great.
It's a funny world where we live in, and people, stop motion is the bastard child of animation.
The redheaded stepchild.
It's the redheaded stepchild. And what's interesting is it's one of the most beloved formats. Yeah. But yet they look at it and go, "What the hell is
Rankin
that?"
and Bass. Everybody has
every
such
Christmas.
Fun
Every Christmas. I mean, we have Gumby, and then we have Ray Harryhausen.
Yeah.
I mean, how many? There's a few other animated formats.
Yeah.
That you can go, oh yeah, well,
and then
Pixar,
super
and
geeky.
Miyazaki,
You
can go, oh yeah. But stop motion goes, oh, we got this, and this. But yet we're still the bastard stepchild of the whole industry.
We're special effects.
They don't know to label us as animation or puppetry.
Yeah.
I mean, that's what's causing
problems. With the union.
Yeah, the union goes, what union? Yeah, there is no union for stop motion
as I know.
Well, you can't go into the animation union unless you're an animator. Exactly. But then they go, well, are you an animator or are you a puppeteer?
Exactly. Yeah.
And then visual effects, Are you really visual effects? Are you cleanup artist? Are you compositor? You get these things,
Gray area.
It's a really gray area. And what it happens is, and this is one of the things I love about the stop motion revolution. We can get in this real quick.
Okay.
So the stop motion revolution, which is going on right now, which is the largest amount of stop motion in the history of the animation world, is happening right now.
Yeah.
So there's so many productions. Yeah.
Bring it on.
So what's going on is we have this this tidal wave of stuff happening, but nobody's gone, this is what it is, because it is every single art form within humanity.
Yeah.
It's every single one.
Yeah.
You're drawing, you're painting, you're sculpting, you're casting, you're molding, your pre-visualization, your CGI, your animation, your photography, your lighting. You got everything thrown into one big thing.
And they don't know what to do with it.
And they don't know what to do with it because it's everything.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's. I like to look at the top of the hill and go, that's stop motion.
Way up there.
Because you can do CGI, but can you do stop motion?
Yeah.
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 It's totally different.
That's true. That's true.
So let's go a little deep. Okay.
Okay.
So when you're animating a character, and this is something I'm sure novice animators and intermediates or whatever focus a lot on heavily.
Right.
Getting into character, but yet you have 2 characters, or 3 characters, or 4 characters, 5 characters. God knows, maybe 10 characters. So, how do you get in the heads of each character and maintain that?
Well, that's tough, especially at the beginning of a production when you're really trying to find the character.
Sure.
But let's say in this production where we're almost done, we've established the characters and
they're awesome.
They're awesome.
They're so awesome.
You can really get into each one easier. But for me, I really, just having a really good audio read can really help you out in a shot. And I like to sit down and go through the audio a couple of times and really get the nuances of the dialogues and find the fun moments in those, and then just take notes on my X sheet and then just pound it out.
Nice.
Pound that shot out.
Yeah.
Because with TV production or internet production or whatever, or film, you've got a little more time to nuance things.
Supposedly you have a little bit more time. I don't know. I've worked on some films where they go, shoot, you don't worry. Do it.
Yes. Yeah. But definitely TV, it's a quicker pace. So I find it just taking those moments at the head before you start shooting and really do all your notes. You can just plow through a shot quicker, and that's helped me come a long way, especially in the speed of a production. It's just do all that pre-figuring it out, and then you can just bang that shot out.
Now, do you go from, like, you set your main character, let's say you have your main character, then you have 4 other characters. Do you go from that character and then bounce through as a perpetual, like, you have 1 2 3 4 1 2 3 4 1 2 3 4, that you number the characters specifically and say, I'm going to move this character first, then this character, then this character, this character, and create a cycle?
And that comes from pre-grabber, just going down the line, taking tons of notes on your X sheets. That's an old school thing, and then I definitely, for a scene, if there's one character talking, he's obviously, there's a reason why he's talking. Don't distract by having everybody else doing other things and everything else. It's a simple philosophy. If they ain't talking, they ain't moving so much.
Right.
Because you don't want to distract from the main character doing his dialogue.
You kind of hold them.
Yeah, sort of a living hold, get them into a nice hold. Yeah.
Do you every once in a while maybe touch them a little bit so you get a little massage? Because I've heard this. Yeah. You massage them right into a movement.
A little bit. It depends on how long the shot is. You'd be surprised how much you can get away with a blink.
I am not surprised because I do the post side of it, so I know how long you guys hold the blink.
It's like if you're concentrating on this character, if you just have another character blink and just kind of drift his head a little bit like he's paying attention, you can get so much out of that.
Sure.
You know, you're not
Or even
distracting.
like a hip shift.
Yeah, exactly.
You
A little
know?
weight shift.
Yeah.
But yeah, just kind of keep them in a good solid pose and just let the talking character do his thing. And,
So you are pose to pose? No.
oh yeah, pose
Okay.
to pose.
Okay. Do you still use surface gauges at all?
I do. I keep them in my car at all times. You never know.
Because you just might
need
have a
them.
shot, like distance
Exactly,
shots. Where somebody's in the
exactly.
foreground, somebody's in the background. You gotta
I've
measure
gotten more comfortable in my old age with the grabber, the
Okay.
dragon.
Sure.
A dragon frame where I use the tricks of the shadow
Yeah.
and stuff like that. But I love my gauges.
That's cool.
I whip them out.
I honestly, I try not to look at the computer screen when I'm animating.
Oh yeah,
That's one of the killers.
Yep.
Because you look at the computer screen.
It's a crutch.
Yeah, it's that whole thing where the foot's in the wrong position. And it looks great in the screen, but no, it's still wrong.
Yeah.
You know.
And I find with time,
Sure.
like most things, it's a feeling.
Right.
You know, I can move the character and go, I'm just going to take that frame. I'm not even going to look. I know I've moved it the appropriate amount. And because it can be a total crutch. I know some animators, and they are amazing animators. But they'll take a frame, they'll put it on toggle, and they're just...
Oh, I know the same animators.
They just move the puppet to the next, and I'm just that...
I do honestly. I do that with toys sometimes when it's just starting into animating, and then after a while I turn that off, and then I just fly.
Yeah, just do it.
Because it's a little warm up to get into it. You put the toggle and it flickers back and forth on you.
Yeah.
And that's okay.
Gives me epileptic fits.
I'm sure it does.
Even though I don't get those, but yeah, I'm just
so,
like, "Urgh."
What has been the hardest thing that you've ever animated?
Oh,
Come on, you got to have something that you were like, well, that was a B.
Wow.
There's got to be something you go, oh man, I really.
If I only had any retention.
You remember comic books, but you can't remember.
I do. It's so funny. It's like I can remember what I wore when I was 2, but
I can too.
I can only imagine it. Sorry, ladies, as like giving birth. We'll never know the pain.
Sure.
But I hear that you guys, while it's going on, it's incredibly painful. But afterwards, it's all like,
Well, what was the most memorable experience that you had in the field? You have one of those?
God.
Because if I'm asking,
Every episode or every show has them.
sure. Well, let's start at the beginning. What was the most memorable moment in your first production?
Oh God. Well, I won't say it was hard. It was definitely memorable. I was working on. It was my first paid gig as a grip.
Nice.
I was working on a Dawkins video.
Dawkins, really?
Yeah.
Which
the
song?
metal band.
Which song?
Burning Like a Flame.
Burning Like a Flame.
And
Nice.
working at Olive Jar.
Dawkins.
Burning like a flame. I'll bring in the video.
Please do, yeah.
I was on top of a fire station in Boston, of course, because that's where the studio was.
Boston.
It was cold. It was a night shoot. And we were using one of the big butt lights. I don't know what's a huge...
5K.
10K.
10K, maybe. Yeah, 10K.
We were the flame. Me and my buddy,
Wow.
Sean Matheson, on top of this roof, and then we were also using the light for heat while we were up there.
Boston, yeah.
Yeah, it was that was incredibly memorable and ridiculous. I do remember the last night of shooting on that video. We had lobster and steak. Yeah, it was the last night of shooting. We got to eat with the band. I'm like, this is great. Awesome. Whatever. Yeah, that was just a fun experience. And that whole working at that studio was just great. I everything that I've learned, I learned there.
Sure.
Mold making, armature making, animation, lighting, camera. It was just it was a small studio, so everybody got to kind of get their hands dirty and everything.
Isn't it bizarre that you gain these experiences, you learn all this knowledge, but you only apply it to one specific skill in one specific area.
Yeah. Well, while I was at that studio, I was allowed to
revolve around,
do all those things,
nice.
which was great. And then when I moved to San Francisco to work on Bump in the Night, it was an animation job.
Oh, right on.
Though during the downtime between seasons, I did get to work in the model department, which was great. It was so much fun. I got to hone those skills again.
Model making is amazing. It's so much fun. Yeah. So, do you buy kits now? Do you buy kits and build?
I
do you do your own?
I do. I actually buy kits, and I love doing store-bought ones. But
what's your genre? Which one do you like the most?
I do figures. I do mostly. I stay within the fantasy science fiction realm.
I do planes, and I do military vehicles.
Nice. I used to do that when I was a kid, cars and military,
Sure.
because there wasn't so many of the fantasy and Star Wars.
Sure. I go to
the
Japan. I do
stuff.
Gundam. You can just do Gundam. It's cheap there. It's expensive here.
Yes.
But there it's cheap.
Yes,
So you
exactly.
can do Gundam endlessly. So at my in-laws, I have multiple Gundam models sitting there, and then and here I build a model and it gets chucked away. The kids destroy it.
Oh,
So,
yeah. I remember those days. No, I actually look forward to, now that I have the space in the house, I want to start doing what they call studio scale models, which is what
like a TARDIS in your backyard.
like you TARDIS in the backyard. Yeah, I actually want to do the studio scale version of the Endeavor from the Micronauts comic book of Marvel Comics. Did in the 70s.
Wow. Yeah, I did. Oh man, I did that. Anyway, it's not my interview; it's your interview.
No.
I was gonna say I did a model of
That's
oh man, I can't remember. It's the one movie where they went inside. It's like inner space, but it wasn't inner space. Before 1960s.
Fantastic Voyage.
I did the Fantastic Voyage model.
Proteus?
Yes.
The Proteus.
Yes, and then I put it in a music video.
I love that
It was
design.
awesome.
I would kill for a model.
That's a great design. I built
so
it and then I blew it up. So
that's what you do.
yeah, I guess that's what you do. Yeah.
There's many a Romulan ship that got blew up.
Hooked
when I
up
was
to
a
some
kid.
firecrackers.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Sparklers and firecrackers.
So what's your favorite part or aspect of this industry? Do you have a specific one, or you're just like you're like hanging out and being cool with everybody?
I love it all. I think it's great, and every part of it is fun. Whether it's stop motion or post production or makeup effects. I love that sort of
That's
stuff.
a fun field. Yeah.
Or model work. It's just. It's all cool, and as a kid, I wanted to do it all.
Have you ever directed animation at all?
The only thing that I've directed were some bumpers for Gary and Mike, and I've always wanted to direct, and every time it happened, something went horribly wrong. So I'm like, I'm done.
Yeah, I don't blame
it's like, am I the jinx?
You kind of have to have one snuck up on you.
Yeah, it's got to come out of nowhere. It's like if we got another season of Gary and Mike, a handful of us were being groomed to direct, and there was a project up in Vancouver. That's why I was excited. I was like, Bush Jr., I'm out of here.
Bye, see you later.
Let's go in CG.
Taxes,
I can still direct.
taxes. Oh, these taxes.
Yeah.
Anyway.
I can still direct. That's still animation. But someday it'll happen, or it won't. I'm totally easygoing. I'm still enjoying animating, and like I said, it's still an adventure every day. I'm like, how am I gonna get this character from here to here and do it? Make it funny and make it read. So
it's amazing to see it all kind of put together. When you see a full episode of something that you worked on,
it's amazing.
Personally, I bitch and complain the whole time. I'm like, oh God, really? Why? Oh. And then you get to the end of it. You've finished a shot. You're over it. You're like, oh, I'm done. Here, take this.
Yeah.
It comes together, and then you haven't seen it in 2-3 weeks, and then somebody just throws it out in your face. Here's the new episode of blah blah blah, and you
Yeah.
watch it and you go, "That was amazing."
You're like, oh my god, my shots aren't horrible.
They weren't horrible. They're really good, actually.
Oh yeah, I mean, just stepping away and giving them
you
a little
have
time.
to.
Yeah.
I think that's one of the problems with being perfectionist in the industry.
Yeah.
It can kill you.
Oh yeah, totally.
There has to be a point where you, as even doing your individual projects, you have to just do it.
Yeah.
Just do it.
Get
it done.
Get it done. Get it out of the way. Yeah.
Right. Because if you just focus, it needs to be perfect, you'll never finish it.
You'll never get it done.
You could be stuck on just making the hand of the puppet. It's like the hand looks perfect, but what about the rest of the puppet?
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
The hand looks like junk. The rest of the puppet looks like junk, but the hand's awesome.
That hand is awesome.
Yeah.
People don't care about the hand. Just animate the damn puppet.
Yeah.
Do you ever OCD out?
I do, and that mostly translated when I would get home, and I was like, every dish needs to be stacked clean and needs to be put away just right in this way, and I got to the point in the last couple of years, I'm just like,
Whatever.
I don't care. As long as it's clean, I don't care if I got like 2 different bowls on top of each other or something like that. It's like, I find as I'm getting older, I'm just like, meh. It does, in the grand scheme of things, it doesn't matter.
No. But like with your animation specifically.
Well, especially with certain shows, they all start out very persnickety.
You got to
especially
do this way.
It's like it's got to be this way and it's got to be this way. As the deadline starts creeping up, they're just like, can you just get it done?
Right.
You know, keep them in character and keep it great and everything like that. And it's almost more liberating when it's not persnickety. It's just like when you're just kind of cranking through, you get funnier stuff. You get the characters are almost more alive because you're not, needling every little. Oh, I gotta move that eyebrow just so, and I need to ease out like so nicely. And it's just like, man, get it done, make it funny, and make sure everything reads in the shot that it's supposed to read. And you'd be surprised you get better things by just letting go. And that translates in every part of your life. So.
Totally.
Yeah.
Let's check the time here. Make sure, because I've seen people leave, and we might get kicked
we don't
out.
I got keys, but
we don't.
Yeah.
Oh, good. Because they always go, "Hey, John, when are you leaving here?
When are you get out?" But I'm sure my fiance would love me home.
Yeah.
For the few hours that I've been home. This week.
I got a 6-day week this week, so.
Man, me too. I've been doing 12-hour days. 6-day weeks.
It's fun after a while. Just kind of a steady stream of.
It's just like but my home life,
it's important.
The little lady would like to have me home, and
my wife would kill me if I didn't come home.
Yes, I'm sure.
Exactly. So on that note, I asked this the last time on the last podcast with Teresa, so I'm going to ask you as well.
Excellent.
But I kind of already know some of the answer, maybe.
Okay.
All right. What inspires you from the past, the present, and the future?
Wow. What?
What, where, when, and why?
What, where, when, and how? I would probably say my friends constantly inspire me. So.
Nice.
Yeah.
Nice. How did they inspire you?
In the awesome work that they do, and they inspire me to be better at everything.
Right. So, Christopher Calvi, thank you very much. Or Chris Calvi, not Christopher. Your mom calls you Christopher.
It's true. Yeah. Or Calvi to my friends.
Exactly, Calvi. Yeah. So
one of these days I'll just change it to just Calvi.
I was saying
legally just change it to Calvi. Nobody calls me Chris.
Hey, you can do that legally, but when you get married, you can actually just do that on your marriage certificate, just Calvi.
Oh my God!
You can. What's your new name? Because you switched it. I did that with my name.
Oh, nice.
My name's not originally Ikuma.
No, I know.
A lot of people don't know this.
You took that.
I took my wife's name. So originally it's Spiegler.
Yeah.
So I took Ikuma.
Which is also very.
But technically I'm Spiegler Ikuma. But it's harder to remember Spiegler. But now you can just go by Calvi.
The artist formerly known as. And then when I get really old, I can just be a symbol like Prince.
What would your
was.
symbol be?
I don't know. That's the next 10
have
years.
the
I'll figure it
lantern,
out.
almost like the lanterns, the
Yeah.
C, this
Sort of
cryptic C thing.
Pucker hole or something. I don't know.
Totally. Well, thank you very much for your time.
Thank you, sir.
That
It
was
was
an
a
awesome
pleasure.
interview. High five.
All right.
All right, bud.
Eiffel Tower.
So that concludes episode 2 of Stop Motion Magazine's podcast. We really appreciate you listening. And if you enjoyed this podcast, there will be many more to come. Hopefully many more. As right now, we have maybe 2-3 more scheduled for release. And we also just released In the Shadows of Light documentary web series. So be sure to check that out on our YouTube channel, youtube.com/Stop Motion Magazine, where, of course, you can find all of this information, all this wonderful stuff at stopmotionmagazine.com. And we really appreciate you contributing by listening, by participating, and by donating. If you want to help us out, please feel free to purchase a print copy of the magazine or send us emails of praise. We love that as well. So, as always, I am your fearless stop motion contributor, John Ikuma, editor of Stop Motion Magazine, and just want to tell you I love you and keep animating.